night, the Stanley Cup playoffs started. I also realized the Met Gala was on. As soon as I realized the Met Gala was on, I still did not care. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Glove Drop. Last night, the Stanley Cup playoffs finally started. What's good? There was 4 games on deck. If you missed it, these are my first round predictions. Yes, I will explain why I feel that way, but I will be doing it in these videos. Make sure you are subscribed. Hit that subscribe button right now and just go do it. Turn on notifications. I am going to be slaving over a hot laptop this entire playoffs just to make sure that I bring you guys all of the news, all of the updates, all of the bloody fights, and all of the calls that people got really upset about. So let's friggin' go! The first game of the night, puck drop, 7 o'clock. The Boston Bruins went down to Carolina. The Carolina Hurricanes were without their starting goalie, Freddie Andersen, who has been out since April 16th with an upper body injury. Freddie Andersen is not only their number 1 goalie, he is in 2nd place for goals average against with 2.17, and he is in 3rd place overall whole league with a .922 save percentage, which is a devastating blow if you're a Carolina Hurricanes fan. Absolutely not ideal, but Antti Raanta stepped up and he put on a phenomenal performance, making 35 saves in what was his first ever playoff game, helping lead those Carolina Hurricanes to a 5-1 win over the Boston Bruins. The Canes have dominated Boston throughout the entire regular season, and they picked that right up and carried the dominance right over into this game 1. And Boston, for a team with so much playoff experience, having so many people sit around saying Boston is a playoff team, they'll get you in the playoffs. They got. That's what happened. They didn't get nothing. They were totally off, and it was as simple as that. They were absolutely dominated when it came down to special teams. The Carolina Hurricanes have that first place penalty kill, 88% penalty kill. Yeah, they can make any team look bad. This was beyond bad. Boston continued to do the exact same play. Give it to Pastrnak and try and make an entry into the zone. And every single time it failed. So if Boston wants any hope of beating this Carolina team, they are going to need to readjust a lot of things, especially readjust what they're doing on that power play. The Boston Bruins top 6 did look decent. They did not show the same level of confidence and experience as we've seen before, but the top 6 were decent. The bottom 6 were not. That depth needs to be there. I've said it before. If you have the puck, you are going to have 4 or 5 Hurricanes on you, and they are going to take it, and there's going to be nothing you can do. In this instance, I'd say the old dump into the zone will work a lot better. Stop trying to show off your skills, dump the puck, and go. The Carolina Hurricanes brought back a little hint of the storm surge. Don't like Carolina? Love the storm surge. So it's just a little one, but hopefully we'll see them do more and more of the ridiculous crap that they do when they win as the playoffs go on. The second Eastern Conference matchup of the night was another blowout. The Toronto Maple Leafs blow out the defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning 5-0. 5-0. I can hear Steve Dangle screaming still. That was bad. It was the first postgame that Sheldon Keefe coached with fans in the building, and he mentioned how much of an impact he felt it made, and it absolutely does. Toronto Maple Leafs fans in a sea of blue going bananas, and that atmosphere can have a huge effect on the play. And going into the game, Sheldon Keefe also said he expected this to be a borderline violent series. Yes, and it really was, because within that first period, we saw our first of 7 game misconducts given out. 7 game misconducts. Oh my God. Kyle Clifford is hit with a game misconduct for boarding.
Play, the puck's already gone. His numbers are there. The first play goes to an experience.
And the Leafs are left to kill a 5-minute penalty. Everybody in the postgame said that the atmosphere really helped drive them through. After the Leafs were able to kill off that 5-minute penalty, they took the momentum and they ran with it. They killed off 5 Lightning penalty kills. And not only did the Lightning not score, they barely got anything in motion. Of the 5 goals scored on the Lightning, one of them was a shorthanded goal. So not only are the Leafs killing penalties, they're also scoring on them. The Leafs managed to also go 1-for-6 when they were on the power play. Mitch Marner had 1 on the night, and Austin Matthews had 2, and the final score 5-0. Shut 'em out, boys. This series has the potential to be very, very entertaining, but also incredibly frustrating for fans. When your team is allowing frustrations to get in their head and they start brawling, yeah, I'm stoked for a second, but I'm not here to watch top players get kicked out of the game. I'm also not here to watch top players sustain some injury from a brawl. And last night's Gong Show had all of the making for somebody to get injured or somebody to get suspended.
Simmons goes after Hedman. Now.
Other than Kyle Clifford getting that misconduct, for the Toronto Maple Leafs, they also had Morgan Riley get tossed.
Ball,
Wayne Simmons and Ilya Lyubushkin. And for the Lightning, Corey Perry, Jan Ruda, the big rig himself. I really just not a big fan of the big rig, so see you later, buddy. They all got game misconducts and had to take that little walk down the tunnel. Tampa Bay needs to readjust entirely going into this game too, because the atmosphere is still going to be there, and I guarantee you that that atmosphere is going to be even louder. You're gonna have to keep your emotions in check, otherwise it's going to be a repeat of the embarrassment that was getting swept in the first round of the playoffs. So Tampa Bay leaves with a shutout. They're going to show up one more time before they head down to Florida, the Sunshine State full of shady people. The third game of the night, the first matchup over in the Western Conference, was supposed to be a really exciting, closely matched game, but it wasn't. It was another shutout. However, the home team was getting shut out this time. The St. Louis Blues shut out the Minnesota Wild 4-0 in front of a Minnesota Wild crowd that was unhappy to say the least. St. Louis Blues playoff experience shows indefinitely in this game. Their team leaders are guys who led that team to that Stanley Cup in that incredible comeback, worst of first season. Ryan O'Reilly had a goal, and David Perron had a hat trick. On the third goal, giving Perron the hat trick, that is when the Minnesota Wild fans started to get up and leave.
And another goal on the power play. Just confusion as some of the fans head to the exits.
There was still about 10 minutes left in the third period. You never see fans leave during the playoffs, especially that early, but they were out. They were like, I gotta go. And again, you're seeing this atmosphere have an effect on the team. As goals were scored, everything just went to shit. And that can also have a huge effect on the players. So as much as it can help, it can also hurt. The Minnesota Wild are going to need to stay out of the box if they plan on having any shot against St. Louis. They are terrible on special teams, and they have not been very good at all this entire season. The Wild go 0 for 6 on the power play. And even worse, the Minnesota Wild allow 2 power play goals. We're seeing this in every single game. The emotions need to be in check if you want to win a Stanley Cup. So, stay out of the damn box, Minnesota. Yes, St. Louis does have the experience. Yes, they do have the special teams, but the Minnesota Wild are a really good team. They have really solid players, and it could be an incredible matchup if you pull your head out of your ass. So that game wraps up in the second shutout of the night. The St. Louis Blues go 4-0. And not only does St. Louis Blues goaltender Husso get the shutout, it's also his first postseason appearance, so not a big deal. That's a franchise record. First goalie ever in the St. Louis Blues franchise history to have a shutout in their first postseason game. Somebody play Gloria. The final game of the night, the second Western Conference matchup. This was the most exciting game to watch because it was not a blowout. The LA Kings headed to Edmonton to take on McDavid and Draisaitl and the Edmonton Oilers. The Kings come up with a 4-3 win. Nobody is to blame but Edmonton Oiler goaltender Mike Smith. 5.5 minutes left in the third period. It's been such an evenly matched game. They are tied 3-3. The Kings and the Oilers have 33 shots on goal. The Oilers have the edge, having scored 2 power play goals, so their special teams are doing great. Then this happens.
Dumps it in, puck stopped.
Mike Smith comes out of the net to try and make a play. That in itself is risky AF. Anytime a goaltender leaves the crease and goes behind the net, I'm not talking just coming out of it, but going behind the net, that is a dangerous play. He makes this dangerous play, and he tries to clear the puck, tries to send it down to Draisaitl out of the zone. That doesn't happen. It gets picked off by Iafallo, and Mike Smith has to come back and make this diving save, which, I'll hand it to him, was a ridiculous save.
This is it right here. It goes off the spinner.
But it wasn't necessary. He did not need to make that save. He could have just kept his ass in front of the net. And after making that incredible diving save, unnecessary diving save, absolutely out of the game at that point, scrambling all over the place. Jersey takes the shot. Denault tips it in.
Another shot. It's 4-3.
And the LA Kings go up 4-3. Game ends, and I imagine Mike Smith probably feels pretty friggin' bad right now. My deepest sympathies to you, Mike Smith, but do better next time. Be smarter. That is the wrap up of day 1. Tonight, the remaining teams take the ice for their game 1. We've got the New York Rangers taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins at MSG. Talk about an atmosphere. Hoping that MSG atmosphere will have even more of an impact on the Pens. Fingers friggin' crossed. We also have the Washington Capitals taking on the Florida Panthers. And over in the Western Conference, the Colorado Avalanche taking on the Nashville Predators, as well as the Calgary Flames taking on the Dallas Stars. So I will have a video giving you all of the updates on that coming out tomorrow. And for all of the Rangers fans out there, I will also be putting up a post-game video of Game 1 of the New York Rangers Round 1. Make sure again that you are subscribed. If you're new here, thank you so much for coming through. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about day 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And if you want even more of the Glove Drop, make sure you check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at The Glove Drop. I will have content coming out on that constantly as as we go through these playoffs. I will see you guys all in the next one, and until then, I'm going to write my gratitude journal how grateful I am that I'm not Mike Smith.
Well, what a chain of events.